Hi everybody, this is Arkady Frekhtman, and today I wanted to talk to you about results of client conversations. When people from YouTube text me and we end up having a consultation call, what do I learn from that I could teach everybody? Recently, I've done 2 or 3 client consultations, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to help. And the reason I wasn't able to help was because these particular individuals already had cases, and the cases already settled, and they already signed releases, and it was all too late, right? If you already have a case and you're told that the policy is small, like let's say $25,000, and then you already sign a release and you already get some of that money, and then you think, you know what if I could have tried for more? I see these other lawyers talking about $5 million cases, even $100 million cases. Why did I only get $25,000? Well, the time to think about hiring a lawyer is right when the incident happens, right when the car crash happens. That's when you should be doing your due diligence, researching, finding the best possible lawyer, and make sure it's a trial lawyer. Because once you already have someone and the lawyer is already working on it, it could be too late, because a new lawyer will have to share the legal fee with the first lawyer. So the new lawyer may not want to come in to the case, because you got to understand that you as the client are getting the client's share, which is 70% roughly, 66.66%. That's the client's share. It's also the lion's share. It's most of it. The lawyers are getting 33.3%, 1/3. Now, if you have one lawyer and it's $1 million case, the one lawyer gets about $300K, $300,000, a nice paycheck for that one lawyer. If you end up firing that lawyer and hiring a new lawyer, well, now the 2 lawyers share the $300K, maybe $150 each, or however they decide to split it up. And if they can't decide, a judge can then order a hearing. At the hearing, the inquiry will be, well, what did each lawyer do? And how did they contribute to the result? And what is each lawyer's reputation and experience? And then the judge will say, okay, you get 200, you get 100, or whatever the judge will decide. But remember, that's all between them, the lawyers, and that's the legal fee portion, or their piece of the pie, the lawyer's piece of the pie. You always get the 2/3, right? The close to 70%, the $700,000 in that example is always yours. So it doesn't really hurt you. So you could switch lawyers, especially if it's early on. But I always recommend, why even deal with all that? Why even deal with all of that nonsense, all of those headaches? People are asking me on my channel, well, what if I switch lawyers, but then the lawyer doesn't want to give up my file? Do I have to go to court? Does that become a case within a case? I mean, look, the short answer is no. The lawyer has to give up your file because he's fired. He or she has no authority to work on your case. But why even get into all that headache? Just hire the right lawyer from day one. When an incident happens, that's when you do your due diligence. That is not the time to, look at these shiny billboards and say, oh, I'm going to hire them because they have the biggest billboard. Because a lot of these lawyers that put up the billboards are not really even lawyers. I mean, they're lawyers. Yeah, sure, they have a license, but they're not lawyers in the sense of they might not even go to court. They don't try cases. They don't take jury verdicts. And what they end up doing is they're real businessmen. They're CEOs, right? Chief operating or chief executive officers. They want to be big bosses. They want to do marketing. They want to spend money. They want to, churn and have the money come in, and they don't care how it comes in, right? They might settle 1,000 cases. Each case could be settled for $2,000, but that's a lot of money for them because it's $700 times 1,000 cases. That's $7 million, right? So that's not in your best interest. What you really need is a trial lawyer. But the problem is, a lot of the trial lawyers, they're not out there. They're not on the big billboards. They're more hidden. And in order to find them, the only way you could really find them is go to the court's website. And then if you could have a review of actual trials, who's doing those trials, who's first chair in those trials, and who's getting those $1 million verdicts. I could help you find that because I've made a curated list all over the country of the best trial lawyers, the best ones in Alaska and California, the best ones in Texas, the best ones in Florida, the best ones everywhere, New York, Maine, and also the best ones for each type of case. The best trial lawyer for a medical malpractice case could be different for the best trial lawyer for a truck accident case. There are certain lawyers that specialize in truck accidents. They are the best for truck accidents, and they don't really do other types of cases. That's all they do. So that would be your go-to if you have a truck crash, right? The same thing for construction, explosion injuries, burn injuries. So you have to really niche down, and it's very much like finding something with a fine-tooth comb or finding a needle in a haystack. But if you have a lawyer who's helping you as a guide to find that trial lawyer, well, then you avoid all these problems, all these headaches, all these wrinkles that you're gonna have. So I just wanted to explain that because I had these two consults, and the first person I think had a real serious case, even a wrongful death case, and they were not happy with their lawyer, they were not happy with the result, but it was a little too late. They had already signed the release. You can't really do anything at that point. The other client didn't sign a release yet, but they actually ended up firing their lawyer for the same reason. They just weren't happy. The lawyer wasn't answering their questions, wasn't communicating with them, wasn't doing anything. And I could try to help them. I could try to give them the name of another lawyer, but can I truly help them? Maybe not, because look, if it is a small policy like that, only $25,000, and there's no bad faith or opportunity to open up the policy to go for more, and there's no where you can go after your own vehicle's insurance, if there's no other avenues, we always look for other avenues of possibility, but if there's no other avenues, if everything's like, roadblock here, roadblock there, roadblock here, everything's closed off, well, all you have is that 25 policy. If they're tendering it or giving you the whole 25, maybe that's all there is. That's just luck of the draw. But the important thing is, really try to hire that trial lawyer at the beginning when the incident happens. Think long and hard about who you hire, make your smart decisions then, because later on it's going to be too late. And even if it's not too late, it's just going to be a big headache, and you don't need that. Okay, thank you so much, everyone.